Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. This is Zombie Soundwave here, and today I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to talk about the new Vault Hunter that they just announced at PAX. We obviously don't know a whole lot about them, but we did get a silhouette of the character, and I don't know if this is going to be the official silhouette for this character, or if this is just kind of like a placeholder photo. But yeah, I just want to talk about it, see if we could theorize about some different things. So automatically it gives me a very Scarecrow vibe, and this started to kind of get my brain thinking about man, what if it's a character that's really centered around fear, and maybe using fear, we can turn enemies to our side, or maybe send enemies away, like some kind of effect that maybe I don't know, has a 10% chance of when you're doing damage, the enemy can run the other way. And maybe there can even be other skill points that you can put in. They can maybe even add certain things to it. Maybe even it's a one where the character runs away, but then maybe there's a later point in the skill tree that you can put in that allows you to have them turn to your side for a minute or something like that. I think that could be really interesting. Outside of that, I don't really know what else they could do with fear. Also some kind of I'm sure your actual skill could maybe be you turn into some kind of monster, and maybe that it causes some kind of effect on the enemies as well. We've never really seen a fear mechanic in Borderlands, so I think that would actually be really neat to see something new, something where you can actually influence the battlefield in a sense of actually causing enemies to run away, or causing enemies to fight on your side, or any kind of thing like that. I think that would be really neat. Outside of that, though, if we had to theorize about some other possibilities, obviously we could go with some kind of maybe scavenger. Maybe it's some kind of character that uses tech that they've found in the wasteland. Some kind of I don't know, maybe using parts of robots, using special weapons, maybe even weapons from the different manufacturers. Maybe some kind of Malawan prototype weapon, or maybe it's a mixture character of different parts that they found from the different manufacturers. I think that could be interesting too. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. I don't really know what exactly you do there. Probably each of the skill trees, the skill is maybe related to a different manufacturer, and maybe you can even swap some stuff out throughout the skill tree. I think that'd be pretty interesting, actually. We already have a lot of Harlow already has the Malawan tech, so maybe not Malawan. Maybe it could be some kind of experimental Hyperion tech, and maybe it's some kind of rail gun or something. I know we've seen a rail gun, I'm just using that as an example. I think that would be pretty neat, honestly. That's another good idea for this. Outside of that, though, also the character kind of looks maybe witch, like a witch doctor-y kind of look. A wizard, a witch doctor kind of look. That could be interesting too, especially if they really tell that they're tech. Maybe it's some kind of tech necromancy, and he can raise robots. And the idea is maybe robots have been destroyed across the wasteland. He can for some reason, or they, I don't really know still if it's a man or a woman, or whatever, but maybe they can raise some kind of technology, some kind of robot creature. I think that'd be pretty cool too. That would really help too, because you could even get into kind of a Diablo situation where you can raise different types of robots, and the different robots can have different things, kind of similar to how Flak had the different animals, but even more, because you could have maybe you can raise 3 smaller robots, or you could raise 1 larger robot, and depending on where you put your skill points, maybe you can even have one of the larger robots and 2 of the smaller ones. I think that'd be pretty cool. That'd be a good way of actually giving a character that has followers and stuff. That'd be pretty neat. That's a very Diablo thing. The necromancer can usually raise a few undead creatures. And I guess just to give maybe one more guess, I don't really think this is probably the case, but this came to my head, so we'll throw it out there just in case somehow it's right. Maybe it's a stealth character, because all those leaves, because it kind of looks like leaves or feathers sticking off. Maybe Maybe it could be like a stealth character, like a character like in some kind of ghillie suit. Maybe it's like a soldier class, like another soldier class, but maybe far more emphasis on like stealth mechanics, snipers, using that kind of technology to, like to hide in the battlefield and stuff. Kind of similar to maybe like a flak going camo, that kind of idea. This also just made me think, though, with the feathers, maybe it's more like a tribal thing. Maybe it's some kind of like outcast, like, I don't know, like a psycho that maybe has joined some kind of clan and they wear feathers. I don't know. Yeah, I think there are a lot of really interesting possibilities for what, this class could be. But yeah, I enjoyed making this video. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I thought this was a neat thing that they put out, this silhouette, and I thought that, we can maybe make some guesses on what this character could be. Borderlands is something that I've always really enjoyed, and yeah, I'm hoping to maybe talk about it a little bit more on the channel. So if you're interested in hearing more theories, or if you want to share a theory, like if you have any ideas of what the class could be, you let me know in the comments, and let me know if you enjoyed this. Leave a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you feel like doing so, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you. Peace out, everybody.